It took almost 2 years, but US Airways Flight 1549 finally made it to its intended destination. The fuselage rolled into Charlotte, North Carolina on a flatbed truck, completing a journey that started in Newark, New Jersey, where it had been kept in a hangar since it safely landed on the Hudson River. CBS News correspondent Kelly Kobiea remembers the miracle on the Hudson.
It covered nearly 800 miles in 7 days, and all along the route, hundreds of thousands came out for a glimpse of what's left of Flight 1549.
I am overwhelmed. The British didn't have that many people waiting for George Washington when he crossed the Delaware. I can assure you of that.
It's been nearly 2.5 years since that cold January day in New York. The Airbus 320 took off with 155 souls on board, and within minutes, hit a flock of geese.
You thought an engine had...
I thought an engine blew.
Dave Sanderson was in a window seat. He remembers the pilot steering the plane over the George Washington Bridge.
When he crossed over the bridge, I could see faces. That's how close he was to the bridge. He cleared about like 300 feet.
Dave thought he was about to die. A minute later, the splashdown on the Hudson River.
But then all of a sudden you hit, and you go back, and all of a sudden you see light coming through the window, and it's like, man, I got a shot.
Dave was the last man out of the plane. All 155 on board survived. It was the miracle on the Hudson, a miracle made possible by Captain Chesley Sullenberger.
I think that all of us, passengers and crew, are joined forever because of this amazing event, and we share a special bond.
It'll take months to piece the plane back together. It'll be on display here in Charlotte at the Carolinas Aviation Museum, dents and all. Kelly Kobiea, CBS News, Charlotte.
Joining us now from San Francisco is Captain Chesley Sully Sullenberger, CBS News aviation and safety expert. And here in the studio are Flight 1549 passengers, Pam Seagle and Laura Zych. Good morning to you all. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Captain Sullenberger, let me start with you. Flight 1549 was on its way to Charlotte, North Carolina, when you had to land it into the Hudson. This 2.5-year journey, what has that been like for you?
It really has been a journey. And of course, at first, for everyone on the airplane and their families, it was traumatic. But as we processed it and put it in perspective and made it part of ourselves, it's also been the source of wonderful opportunities. So very happy to be with you, and I'm glad that the aircraft now is in Charlotte, its ultimate destination.
I think what's so fascinating is so many people came out to see that aircraft on its journey to North Carolina. And as a matter of fact, a lot of people still really think about what happened that day, and it resonates with them. Why do you think that is?
I think it happened at a time in the world's history when it seemed like everything was going wrong, and people were searching for good news and wanted to feel hopeful again. And I think that this story of people coming together in a crisis and having such a good outcome gave people that hope. And it was really fun for me to watch this week. People standing on overpasses, waving flags, sitting in lawn chairs, waiting for the caravan with this airplane to come by.
Pam and Laura, you heard the captain there. Do you really think people are attracted to this story, not only because it's a story of hope, but it's also a story of survivorship?
Definitely. I know that it definitely holds a special place in our heart, but just watching some of the updates, the Facebook updates from the Aviation Museum and the transportation company, we've been able to see just the excitement that surrounded it, from only having maybe 100 fans and people that are following the Aviation Museum to over 1,000 people, and people posting pictures along the route, and just the excitement and people saying that they are just excited to see a part of history. So, yeah. I mean, it means a lot to us. And
you both were a part of bringing that plane to the museum. It must be, I guess, a bit of a surreal experience to see the plane again, at least parts of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've often used that word surreal. It's the whole experience was surreal. From when everything happened to I still have visions of sitting in the Hudson looking at that plane with the Manhattan skyline behind it and thinking, this isn't really happening. But to a time last week when Laura and I and another passenger went over and helped to unpack some of the crates that were coming in with items that are, seat cushions and life preservers and the trays and the carts that push down the aisle. And for me, one of the most profound things was the transponder or the beacon that I have clear memories of Sully handing to another passenger in the raft. So yeah, very surreal.
No doubt. And does it bring any kind of closure to not only see the items, Laura, but also to speak with Captain Sullenberger again as well?
I think so. We always enjoy getting a chance to give Sully a hug or to say hi and thank you once again. We can never say thank you enough, but definitely some closure for us for it coming home to Charlotte. We really consider it to be one of us and the last one to arrive, and we're highly anticipating the arrival. And for me, it will only be a couple miles away from where I work, so just
Lucky
almost
you.
like
Yeah.
a comfort in having it.
No
nearby.
doubt. And it seems like all of you have formed a bit of a family. Captain, I want to ask you, within that family, how is this for you? How does this make you feel that you've finally arrived to this point in time?
Well, we do share this incredible connection that was formed that day, literally in seconds. Everyone on the airplane and their families. And it's a bond I think we'll keep for the rest of our lives. And so it's wonderful to see and greet and hug all the passengers again, and I'm looking forward to doing that again today. And I'm also very happy that instead of being chopped up and sold for scrap, that the airplane now ultimately will be able to be viewed by the public intact in Charlotte, where many of the passengers live.
No doubt it is history. Captain Sully Sullenberger, Pam Seagle, and Laura Zych, thanks so much for being here. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to be with you.